Taylor is here. So I've been excited to play this song all morning. This is such a great song.
I'm so glad you love it.
This is so good. And even before I started thinking more about it, it hit me like, God, this is a killer track. It's called Style. And Max was telling me that this was one of, if not the last song you guys did or you did with him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure after we finished this one, I knew the record was done. Shake It Off and Style were the last two songs to be written for 1989. And this one has always been my secret favorite. I hope it ends up being a single. Like, I hope people love it, because there's just something about it. I love how the song sounds the way that feeling felt. I love it when a sound of a song matches up with the feeling that inspired it.
Yeah.
So, in this song, it just reminds me of like driving in the middle of the night. I don't know. I loved comparing kind of these timeless visuals with, a feeling that never goes out of style.
And why did you name it Style?
Because the hook is "We never go out of style."
But before the
hook,
hook.
and I thought "We never go out of style" was a long title.
Got it. But before the hook, you didn't know what the title was going to be, right?
Well, when you're writing a song, you just kind of are like, you let the song happen and turn into what it's going to turn into, and that just ended up being the title. And it's pretty slick.
It is
pretty.
Yeah, it's slicked back in a white tee, isn't it? That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's slick. It's white teed. I mean, I'm picturing a guy driving by your place, looking up. Where is she? What is she doing? Just picturing all of it. Let's picture it together. This is called Style. It's Taylor Swift. So can you imagine?
Thanks for clapping, Ryan.
How could that album would not have happened without that song? I can't even picture. Like you said, it wouldn't have been complete without that song.
Yeah, there was a huge missing piece, and that song filled it, for sure.
How fun is that?
I'm so glad that you can see that.
I mean, how fun is that going to be to do live when you're traveling around? That's going to be that's going to be that song that empowers the audience. You know those songs that you could feel them with you? That's that song.
And this is also a really good one, like if you put your headphones in and you can walk to the beat of it. Like this one and Welcome to New York have really good like strutting beats. And there's a song called Bad Blood that's really good to run to.
Oh, okay.
So
I like that.
So you
put it on repeat on the
cardio track list. All right, I want to go into the lyrics for a second of Style. And so we just heard it. I'm going to fast forward towards the back of the song. It says, "You've been out and about with some other girl." He says, "What you heard is true." This is him talking, right? "But I can't stop thinking about you." And then I was curious before I heard the next lyric to know what your reaction was to that statement. And then you say, "I said I've been there too a few times." So you relate to him?
Well, it's basically kind of one of those relationships that's always a bit off.
Yeah.
The song is about like kind of I talk about in another song on the record, a crooked love, which is kind of like never quite synced up right, and the two people are trying to forget each other, and they've both been out with other people, and they've both tried to forget the other. And so it's like, all right, I heard you like went off with her, and you came back, and well, I've done that too. So
I can't totally follow.
That's what that line means.
How did you hear about it?
Hear about what?
How did you hear about him being, I'm not even saying who he is, but how did you hear about he being with someone else? Is that something that you're told, that you read? Is it something that you feel? Is it something that they tell you? Because that's a tough moment in a relationship.
Yeah, but I don't feel like I should go into this because I think then we'll be talking about an individual person and people will write headlines about it and it'd be a whole thing. But I think, this song is about my life and I've never revealed who it's actually about. But the song kind of speaks for itself, and kind of like the way this song sounds and feels, that's all I need people to know about that story.
And I find it so interesting because at that moment in that lyric specifically, I'm wondering, like, how do you react to that? Because we've all sort of been in that situation. I mean, I know we've all been in that situation before. And then I found it clever that you said, "Look, I can't really crush you for it because I've been there a few times myself." That was interesting. It was an interesting turn for me.
I find it interesting that you picked up on that line, because that line is also sort of I would never have said anything like that on a previous album.
Right.
Like my previous albums have always been sort of like, I was right, you were wrong, you did this, it made me feel like this, kind of a sense of kind of like a sense of righteous, like right and wrong in a relationship. And what happens when you grow up is you realize that the rules in a relationship are very, very blurred. and that it gets very complicated very quickly, and there's not always a case of who was right and who was wrong.
Well, to me, in listening to it, that was like, you look for those. I mean, obviously, all of it is new and it's an evolution, and then there are those really nuanced, finessed, pivotal moments that help tell you as a listener where you are as an artist, and that was one for me.
Oh, good.
Ah, that's
Oh, I like
nice.
hearing
Yeah.
that.